Hello, welcome to Conversations with Neuvias. My name is Carol. Today we have the lovely Marge,
Hello.
and we have a good topic today. It's called visitations. Spiritual
Yeah,
visitations is that.
I
Yes.
like talking about them.
Yeah, I think a lot of that kind of gets overlooked sometimes, or that's just a topic a lot of people, Marge, don't want to discuss.
Freaks them out a little bit, I think.
Yes. So let's see. The first topic, what is a visitation?
So many ways you can experience them, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I would just say like it's an unexpected visitation from maybe loved ones, departed loved ones, angels, guides, spirits. Just depending on your beliefs or on your context, right, Marge?
Absolutely.
And of course, it also depends on the feeling of the experience, So there's many ways
Hmm.
you can construe that. So
Yeah, there's so many ways that people experience them too. Some people are more easily reached in dreams, so they'll have dream visitations,
hmm
or you'll have a smell, or you'll hear hear their voice, and usually it's a loved one. In my experience, it's a loved one most of the time. Not
yeah,
always, but it's pretty cool.
yeah. So once you have that comforting presence, like Marge was talking about, with deceased or loved one, just probably coming in to say hi or just kind of look in on you, they might be sending you a message as well, trying to give you instructions that something might be coming up in your world, or you're kind of lost or with uncertainty or something. Maybe they're trying to give you some guidance there.
Hmm. Yeah. It's
I was
usually,
gonna, I was gonna
go ahead.
say, Mark. Uh huh. Oh no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, uh, um, usually it's just an experience that when you're thinking of them. Frequently, it's an experience
Mm-hmm.
when you're thinking of somebody, and then you'll smell like their perfume, or if they smoked a pipe, you'll smell a pipe or something like that. It's pretty
Yes.
neat. Just to they'll let you know they're around.
Oh yeah, yeah. I sometimes smell the scent of roses sometimes surrounding me. I think we've talked about that many times on different podcasts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think we
Uh,
have.
yeah. So one thing about visitations, sometimes you can see the apparitions of your visitations, depending. And so people can sometimes consider that fearful because of the movies and stuff out there, the scary horror movies. They always want to make ghost out to be this horrific or this evil presence or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But today we're talking about the good part of it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how would we define a spiritual visitation?
I think it's a moment of insight or of visual contact. And then maybe not visual, but like I said, any sensory contact that you'll get. And usually it's between the spiritual world and your physical world, and it usually is very comforting or peaceful.
Yes. Even just hearing a voice, a soothing voice for that,
Hmm.
not necessarily a frightening voice.
Yeah.
So, one thing I will say, I know with me, I'm sure with you too, Marge, is I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people too that will experience those chills, and your little hairs going up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you felt somebody touch you, or like you said, the smells, or a
Hmm.
change in the temperatures
Right.
is really a big one. So those are just different energy shifts.
Yeah. We were one time we were here in the house and we heard this noise. It sounded like a gong in our house. And my daughter and
Wow.
I both looked like, what the heck was that? But like somebody's trying to get our attention. What were we talking about? No idea
Uh,
what it was or who it was at that point. I think with visitations you usually can recognize the person. the energy of the person.
Right.
And it brings them to your mind at that time if it's not a visual thing.
No,
Uh,
that's true.
do you think that too?
Yeah, I think so too, Marge. I know with me, sometimes if, like you said, if you're thinking about something old happen out of the blue, like a hat drops, and you're thinking about your grandpa and a hat. That one of his, because they always wore baseball caps. I just throw that out there. So a baseball cap drops, and you're thinking
Yeah,
about them, and in an instant a baseball cap drops. So
right.
yeah, so that's just them. I think that's their way of just saying, hey, I'm here, with you. So just letting you know that you're still in my
Mm-hmm.
thoughts and so forth. So
Yeah.
I was gonna say, March, another one too is just seeing the number patterns. We've talked about number patterns all the time. So just repeated symbols and synchronicities. If you're seeing those a lot, maybe that's your guides or or they're visiting you to get your attention, and or even listening to a song coming on over and over. That's another way of getting visited, and you're like, oh my gosh, I've heard this song 5 times today. What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually had an occasion with a song, and I'd been working in my kitchen, cleaning my kitchen.
Hmm.
I went on YouTube to put some music on so I could do what I was doing with the music. And I had been thinking of my mom, about my mom, and the song You Are My Sunshine came on YouTube, and I'm like, that's weird. I didn't type that in. That's not a song that's popular or that I'd even thought of, but that was one my
Hmm.
mom had all over the place. She sang it to us all the time. And I thought that was pretty neat.
Oh my gosh, that is pretty cool, especially if it came on unannounced and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, I don't
gosh.
even know how it came in. It was just I was scrolling through trying to find something to play and it just started playing.
Wow, that's
Interesting.
pretty cool. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is pretty cool. Mark, so how do we think that visitations are different from ordinary, like memories or dreams or coincidences?
I think that they're distinct in that you know it's a visitation. You can feel the difference in it. It's like the difference between is that person on the phone or are they sitting next to me in the room? The difference in the energy for how it feels. I think
Yeah,
they're usually pretty vivid.
yeah.
It's so real, especially with the dreams. If you think about how dreams are and they're kind of foggy when you have a dream, it's like maybe you remember the bits and pieces of it, maybe
Hmm.
you don't. When it's a visitation, you remember it. It's very usually there's even in color because it's like you're not even there. Um, it's more of a physical, as if you're seeing all with all your senses. You can hear, feel, see everything in the dream, and it's much more real than a regular dream. You just feel the difference.
Yeah, that's true. I can concur that because yeah. Especially with dreams. I don't remember my dreams all the time, and if I do, I remember them vaguely. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like my worst when I'm dreaming and then something touches me, and I'm just like, whoa.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So yeah, that's definitely because you're usually when you're dreaming, you're in a deep thought, or you're in a deep dream state, and you really don't want to wake up because of what's going on in your dream, and then all of a sudden you're getting touched, or
right.
awakened, should I say? And
Yeah,
so yeah,
yeah.
I don't.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that that's a scary thing. I don't know that that would be considered scary, because I just think that yeah, I don't know why stuff like that may happen, maybe, and it might be my consciousness just starting to enter a new phase or something, and I don't know. It just maybe it's a part of our growth moving forward. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of hard to decipher that. I don't know if you've ever felt anything like that.
I have never, not from a dream state. I have been sitting before and felt a hand on my shoulder or something like
Mm.
that.
Yes.
So it's interesting. Or you feel somebody sit down on my bed. I think I had, long time ago, I had a cat that would jump up on my bed at night. And I felt the cat. It would jump up on the bed and then, you know how they take a couple of circles before they lay down? And it would
Yes.
do it almost every night. But there was no cat there. If I'd open my eyes and look, there was no cat there. So
Oh my.
it's just, I don't know who you are, but thanks for coming. I hope you're comfortable.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I will say, March, the visit that I used to get all the time, which I don't get them now, is the shadow visits. Um, you know, they're considered disturbing to people, fearful. Confuses you. Like you're like, did I just see something? Did I not see something? Out of your peripheral. But usually when you see shadow visitations, that just means that there's some unresolved issues there or business that needs to be taken care of.
Hmm. That makes
So.
sense.
Yeah, and I never used to think that before. I just thought that, oh my God, somebody's here to scare me, or somebody's doing bad juju on me or something. But when you think about it, there was something, that I had to overcome. And I guess that's why I really don't see like a shadow visit any anymore. Knock on wood.
I
Do you
think
want to
there's
get
a
into that?
difference too because I've experienced those quite a few times in my life where you'll see somebody walk past the doorway, just a shadow of somebody out of your
Hmm.
peripheral vision, and multiple people in the room can see it because everybody looks at the same time. Well, did
Oh
you
my
see
gosh.
that? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, but I think when you sit and think about it on those particular things,
Yeah.
you can feel the difference in your body if it's just somebody wandering through your area or if it's somebody trying to intimidate you. The energy is totally different. It's like walking into a room after an argument versus walking into a room that everybody's happy about something. You can
Yeah.
feel the difference.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would say definitely on that note, it's definitely about those feelings. They're going to be either peaceful, loving, neutral, fearful, draining. Those just indicate on the presence there or the source there that's going happening for that
Right.
particular time. So
Yeah. So would you consider those visitations, Carol?
I think, yeah, I think so, Marge, because I think we get probably visitations all the time, just don't acknowledge it as a
Recognize them?
visitation. Yeah,
Yeah,
recognize it. That's the word. Um,
that makes
so yeah,
sense.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think we honestly, I feel like overall we always have a presence with us, regardless of what we're doing through the day. Like all the time, I've heard once you come into this world, you have already a guardian with you at all times, and so
Right.
I firmly believe that. So I do think that there's presence there all the time, but we're so caught up with our day to day world, going through our life, and just not really paying attention. I will say though, Marge, I think if you do ask for, like, if you want to know if somebody's around, you you can ask
Yeah.
nicely, and of course thank them back nicely for coming through as well.
Hmm.
So, but right,
Yeah, I always do that with the butterflies
yes.
because it's easy for butterflies to be used in bugs and animals actually, but the butterflies I see a lot after my sister passed away.
Hmm.
And when she first passed away, I thought, for some reason, I associated with her with a butterfly before even the funeral. And I didn't know why. I even bought a butterfly pin to wear to the funeral. And from then on, every time I saw a butterfly, that was my symbol from her.
Yeah,
It was neat.
that's so nice. That's definitely a good present. I think a lot of people uh, put that differentiate that butterfly with that kind of meaningful, like, presence there.
Yeah. Yep.
I will say also too, Marge, with like some personal experiences. Even though we talk about presence being there all the time, we do know that sometimes there's some elemental presence or residue that's still there that kind of just um, comes in, and not sometimes they're mischievous, I guess you could say. Like if you put a ring somewhere, and then it's not where it's supposed to be. It's moved to a different location. So you will have from time to time those mischievous visitations as well.
Right, just so they're making sure that you know that they're there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And
So.
usually, if you pay attention to that, it's because you've been thinking about the person at some point. You'll
Mhm.
know who it is if if you sit and think about who would do that to you. It's those people that were messing with you when they were here.
Right. I I will say, since we are like talking about all the good stuff of visitations, there are some people who don't get those benefits of a nice little visit. Sometimes the visit might be a little disturbing to others. So there are ways that you can also kind of clear that energy there. So, do some healing, because maybe there's something there that's either blocking blockages there or traumas, and so you're having to come back and rebalance that energy. So do keep that in mind. I know, Marge, you offer that course, I believe, right, for clearing
Yeah.
out energy. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I know some people are like, oh, that we're talking like it's all cute and it's fun, and but there are also, like I said, there's can't have good without bad, and I'm not saying not everything's bad, just how you take it in, but just be cautious if you're feeling some kind of way, and they're like, well, I don't feel that kind of presence, and whatever is going on in your household or wherever. So
Right. Right. I
so
think
yeah.
it's funny though when we talk about to. I think you and I, Carol and I both, have a tendency to clear the negative and make sure that the negative entities or negative energies just aren't
Hmm.
allowed. I had a dream one time, years and years and years ago, about a negative entity trying to take over my family. It was a very vivid dream.
Hmm.
And it went from me, and I says, I told you you're not allowed. And it went to my daughter. I said, no. And it went to my mother. And I said, you are absolutely not allowed to be in this house. Get out. In the dream, which I was kind of impressed with myself when I woke up because I'm like, wow, even in my dreams, good job, Marge.
Man.
It's kind of funny, but you have that ability to make sure that you're protected and covered.
Yeah. Yeah, those what are they, like intrusive or low frequent entities that do come in from time to time, because
Yeah,
they come in particularly because you're out of it, you're imbalanced, and so, or
right.
something, you may have gone somewhere and something attached itself to you because you're feeling your energy some kind of way, and so an attachment might come onto you. So just be mindful of that. There are ways to take care of that if you're feeling a little fearful from that.
Hmm. Maybe we should do a whole podcast on dispelling negative entities and energies. We'll do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that would definitely be good because people might be like, well, I don't even know what you're talking about. So
Right. Yeah.
that would definitely be a good one,
Yep.
to do, Marge.
I would not consider those things though a part of visitations. It's just that people can get confused as to what that is. If you're feeling negative, a
Hmm.
negative situation, I would never call that a visitation.
No,
Not at all.
no,
Visitations are usually comforting, purposeful.
yes. And they're usually, like you said, they're usually visitations from your guides, your angels, your ancestors, your deceased family and friends or something like that. So,
Yep.
um, yeah. So uh, like we said earlier, you can definitely do protection over yourself, if you're feeling some way. And I think that would probably be a good topic to talk about, Marge, when we
Oh,
do come
definitely.
across that. So we'll keep
Yeah.
that definitely in the loop because I don't want to make it too like, okay, let's get really serious here now.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think right now people need to see both sides of it, but um, maybe focusing more on specifically how to deal with that could be
Yeah.
a whole podcast all to itself. So we'll do that.
Okay. Um, I was gonna say we could also probably set up too much like dealing with visitations, but we could talk about that. I had put that in my notes as well, but we could talk about that in another podcast because then we'll be here another probably 45 minutes
That's
to an
true.
hour.
That's true.
So we'll just leave that till we will definitely put that one in. But with that being said, there is ways to get help. But we're talking in the good aspect of what visitations are and how to what to expect and so forth. I guess.
And how to recognize them. I mean, I think when people get a visitation, you know it's a visitation. You may not want to accept that it's a visitation, but you know it is. You
Mm-hmm.
just there's no denying it. Even if
Yeah.
you're not somebody that normally believes in that stuff, you'll see it and you'll go, "Oh, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm going to block it out." But you still know it happened.
No, for sure. Because it makes you feel different from what you're perceiving it to be to what it actually could be.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So, and then also during your visitations, what emotions do you think were present? That's another way to kind of decipher your
Mhm.
visitation.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. So,
If you
what
if
do
you
you?
think about that, is it going to be a? It's probably not going to be a negative thing unless it makes you sad because you missed the person. But the actual visitation is not a um, negative thing generally in my mind.
Right. So I would say, Marge, do you think an experience can still be meaningful regardless of how it is interpreted?
I think so. I think they all are. And it doesn't. I think just recognizing that it's happened can be a comfort to you. A lot of people when they've lost a loved one or something, they're like, are they okay? Or where are they? Or what happened to them? And that being able to know that they didn't just disappear. you know, they're not gone. They just changed their energy. And so seeing, recognizing that can be very comforting.
Yeah.
Some of
It,
my experiences have been verbal, verbal communication that were comforting to me. Messages from loved ones.
yeah. No, for sure. So I would even add to that, Marge. Visitations they leave an impression on you. Either a sense of connection with your um, family, your deceased family, or your angels, your spirit guides, your ancestors. It brings you comfort, and you just kind of wonder, like, I wonder how they're doing, or you know, is like if they're loving life on the other side, which I'm pretty sure 120% they are.
Oh yeah. Yep, absolutely.
So yeah. So, anyways, Marge, I don't have anything else to add to this lovely visitations today. Do you have anything to add?
No, I think just keeping in mind that some of our most profound messages can be received in visitations. I know that some of mine have been, and it's just lovely when you get a message that for instance, I had my mother came to me in a dream shortly after she passed away, and in the dream my brother was there and my father was there. And I was laying in bed sleeping and woke up to my mother with her hand on my face telling me how proud she was of me. And
Oh.
it was so nice, you know.
Mhm.
Some of those visitations, I get them a lot of the times in dreams, and they're more vivid because my brain doesn't engage in them. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't get in the way of those visitations.
That's really nice. I know that I think my brother passed away last year, and it was on Christmas Day of all days. And I'm like you, Marge. I think I was sad because yes, he had passed at such a young age, but at the same token, I was very grateful that things happened the way that they did because I feel like he's more in a more peaceful setting and much better environment, and I think just knowing that, and it just makes me have a sense of peace and calm about the
Yeah.
whole situation. So
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, well, until next time, you can definitely visit us at www.neuvias.com. And as always,
Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a comment about any visitations you might have experienced. That'd be lovely. Love to hear people's stories.
oh, yeah, absolutely. Until next time, much love and light, and take care.
Love y'all.
Bye bye.